Heather, maybe not with you, but do you know anyone who has any like crazy paternity stories?
Yes. It's not even like paternity stories. I mean, I know my dad's my dad because we literally have the exact same body shape. So there's no way. My dad's dead, but literally as I was like putting him into the ground, I was like, yeah, I'm his. My mom, though, this is a very Boston thing. My mom's from Boston.
Okay.
And her dad was a big philanderer. And she gets like every 2 years will get a new sibling on Facebook that will send her a message and say, hey, I think we're related. And then sure enough, I mean, in the last, I'd say 10 years, she's had 2 new siblings.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I'll tell you, this whole thing is crazy. So Rahsaan and Heather, have either of you done the 23andMe thing? Have you actually done it?
No, I haven't. And I gotta be honest with you. I was, if I would have done it 4 years ago when I was broke, that makes sense. But I'm making a little coin now and I'm way too afraid. I don't want anybody coming out of the woodwork being like, I'm related to you. Where's a check?
Well, I haven't done it. And I'll tell you the reason why I haven't done it. And I'm going to sound
you don't want the
crazy
government following you? You don't want the government following you?
No, I
don't either.
I'm kind of a little conspiracy brother when it comes to these fucking DNA people. You know, like I think they're just going to sell my fucking DNA to somebody one day. And I don't want to do it.
So I did it, pretty early on. I probably did it like 5 years ago. In fact, I think they sent some to the office and a bunch of us tried it or whatever. And there's no doubt that my mother is my mother. We have the same teeth. It's just, it is what it is. But I got to tell you, Rahsaan, when I was waiting for the results to come back, there's a tiny part of me that was like, what if my dad isn't my dad? And then it turned out everything's fine. But for a minute, I was like, oh man, what if, do I want to know this? And I guess some people do that because they do want to know it. I just wanted to know if I was Italian, which I am. Fuck you.
That's kind of what I was saying earlier in our meeting is, I'm 38. I got 2 kids, 2 young kids. At this point in my life, both my parents are together, right? So my dad's always been in my life. But if my mom came to me at this point in my life was like, hey, that's not really your father. This other man is your father. I don't know if I would have the energy to go establish that relationship because I'm too focused on my kids.
That's good. But you just said it, right? Too tired.
Yes.
Like, I'm honestly too exhausted to deal with anything right now. I'm dead inside. I'm really tired. So yeah, if somebody were to come out and say, no, I'm your real dad. I'm like, God, do we have to meet for lunch? Like, what does that look like?
You know what the funny thing is, Heather, is that it seems like all these websites like 23andMe, they were established so people could trace their roots.
Right.
But what they really turned it into, do I have siblings out there that I don't know?
Yeah, no, it's Maury Povich. Like we were talking about earlier. It's just like, you aren't the father. Yeah. I mean, my mom, and the thing is too, I know it's got to be disappointing if you do find other family members and then they like aren't wealthy. You know, you're like, at least let me find like a rich brother, a rich sister that can, send me a check or something.
I remember we had, I won't say what it was, but we had like a major celebrity on our show years ago. And this is so long ago, it's before we had TV. And Howard was asking this person, they were adopted, and this person went to find their real family. And Howard goes, and was it like one of those things where like they were like white trash and there was a trailer park? And she goes, absolutely not, Howard. While she's shaking her head, yes. She goes, oh no, Howard, it wasn't like that. But that's what it is because, the odds are a lot of the time, not all the time, people have to give up a kid because of finances. And then some of the time it's because of family shame, you get pregnant young or whatever. But if you're giving it up because of finances, odds are that those people might still be broke and you might be better off. But the dream is you're going to find out that like, oh, I'm Steve Jobs' kid.